It's 6 o'clock GMT in Accra, Ghana. Good morning. Welcome to the Star Breakfast News. Coming up this morning, minority in parliament challenges assertions by the finance minister of impending stability of the Ghana cedi following a debt restructuring agreement with Eurobond holders, as it insists next IMF disbursement will go into paying off external debt.
No cedi of the IMF World Bank money be used to intervene in the market. So please, if you have to run your business and you need dollars, just go ahead and buy them. Don't be listening to Mohammed Amin.
Meanwhile, minority tackles majority leader over constant claims on yet-to-be-laid free senior high school bill as they question this move. Also coming up, Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association accused GRA of harassment despite ongoing discussions with Finance Ministry on 5% excise tax, warning of an industry shutdown. Later, security analyst Adib Sani cautions against Kenyan-like protests in Ghana. Details of these stories are coming up. But first, let's remind you of our affiliate stations across the country.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Star 1035 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM. Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Many thanks to you for choosing Star News. I am Nurein Abass. Now, the minority in parliament has challenged assertions by the finance minister that the cedi will soon experience stability on the forex market following government's debt restructuring agreement with Eurobond holders. The finance minister in the UK announced the move will create some savings of $8 billion and help improve free fall of the cedi. But ranking member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Isaac Adongo, has rubbished these claims. The Bogatanga Central MP insists those savings are not inflows to help cause the stability of the cedi. He adds that the IMF agreement further warns government against interfering with the forex market. Hence, any inflows from the IMF's third tranche will go into debt servicing, which soon resumes.
This restructuring was a restructuring into arrears. What it then means is that the total gain in terms of the savings on debt service and the restructuring is 8.2 billion. They chose to classify the arrears that we will not be paying as cash flow. Cash flow from who? So no $4 billion is coming into this country. If you need to transact your business and you are waiting for $4 billion for the dollar to come down, you'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. What I can tell you will come in is $360 million, and that is peanut. The IMF program is saying that all the monies they are giving us, including the World Bank, the dollars, should be kept in our reserves. The reason is that when repayments start, we will need the dollars to pay. So no cedi of the IMF World Bank money be used to intervene in the market. So please, if you have to run your business and you need dollars, just go ahead and buy them. Don't be listening to Mohammed Amin.
Isaac Adongo also advised the government to create a sinking fund to help pay for future outflows, warning the economy could potentially crash by 2026 without a payment plan.
Ghana is not ready to pay the debts that have been restructured. The debts have not been forgiven. They have only been restructured and the tenure extended, which means that sooner or later we'll be back to the point where we have to pay. I will advise them to put the monies that we are saving from the debt service into the sinking fund in order to build buffers and get the country ready to repay its debt when the debts mature. They should not put this money into election-related expansionary expenditures and jeopardize the future of our country, because when we fail in 2026 onwards, then Ghana will be collapsed completely. So I want to advise them that these monies should not be seen as free money that should be spent on election like they did with the COVID money in 2020, but that the money should be put into buffers in order that future generations or future governments will have the resources available to repay our debt.
You heard the Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga Central and member of the Finance Committee of Parliament. So in Parliament, now the minority has questioned the motive of Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin for constantly claiming the NDC MPs are against the yet-to-be-introduced free senior high school bill. The Efutu MP yesterday, for the umpteenth time, asked the minority to clarify its position on the bill, arguing its spokesperson on education, Peter Notukotwe, had publicly stated his opposition for such a legislation. The widely publicized comment of the majority leader was imported onto the floor by the minority chief whip, Gavin Kwame Agboja, who accused Afenyo-Markin of spreading falsehood. Minority leader Dr. Kaisel Atu Forson subsequently announced to the media their side is not opposed to the bill. They questioned the obsession of the Futu MP to the bill, which has not yet been brought to the House.
The Vice President Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is on record to have said that there is no need for a bill or a law to regulate the free senior high school and not the NDC. He's on record. He said all what you need is commitment. So NDC, we are committed. We are committed to the free senior high school policy. We have obviously identified some lapses in the implementation. All this time, we have been pointing to the lapses and have made meaningful suggestions to the government. At this point, we are urging the government and the majority leader in particular to hurry up in submitting the bill before Parliament. And in fact, I serve notice that from today, every morning, I will demand the bill. That's right. Because when the bill comes before us and in time, we will be able to consult NAGRAT, NAT, right people, all right-meaning Ghanaians, and people who understand the education sector, so that we can enact a bill that will stand the test of time and make the policy sustainable, by the same time improve education for all of us.
You heard the minority leader in Parliament, Kaisel Atu Forson. Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre, however, jumped to the defense of the leader of the House, arguing the opposition of the NDC to the free senior high school policy is not hidden. The Nsawam Adwajiri MP, however, stated the majority leader cannot be held responsible for the twist the media put his comments.
GIA is saying that we should get registered, start charging the tax. And
however, I think that one of the things you should also recognize is if the leader makes a statement and the papers choose to use headlines that they desire, you cannot hold the leader responsible for those headlines. So you should be able to distinguish between contextual headlines that are used by papers and what the leader said. The leader has been consistent and he's been challenging you and praying that you have a change of mind this time. You have a change of mind this time to support the free. No, let's be calm. So that this time you will not run adverts against the free SHS. You will rather support. That is all the leader has been seeking to do. And Speaker, so the leader says he's assuring this House that the bill will come. He hasn't said anything untoward. And many occasions the leader has given signal of bills and agreements that are in the offing and are on their way to this House. I don't know why my colleague and my respected whip is so worried. He shouldn't worry. As for the bill, it will come. That one, there's no problem.
You heard the majority chief whip Frank Anodompre and member of Parliament for Nsawam Adwajiri. Now, away from Parliament, the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association is accusing the GRA of harassment despite ongoing discussions with their finance ministry or with the finance ministry on the implementation of the 5% excise tax, warning of an industry shutdown. The association said the tax is counterproductive and adversely affects the general manufacturing business community and compound the living conditions of the everyday consumer. The association is decrying what it says is harassment by the revenue body, despite its moves for a scrapping of the tax, as a number of manufacturing companies has suspended production and put workers on whole leave due to the high foreign exchange rate, high benchmark values, and very high operating overhead costs. Ebo Botrie is president of the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association.
GIA is saying that we should get registered, start charging the tax, and we should start filing to them. If we don't, They will come to our premises, do an assessment of what we've done, give us a penalty on top of whatever tax that we have to pay. In default means that we have to get our premises or investment locked up. And we think this is too much of a harassment. And at least they are aware that we are having some dialogue with the ministry. Of course, they are implementers though, but then we are having some dialogue, and they are also aware that the minister is not available. So if you push us to that wall, for us to safeguard our investments, then we have no any other option than to shut down. And if we shut down, the ripple effect, you can't imagine, because every single industry or manufacturing setup in Ghana depends on plastic packaging.
Now, security analyst Adib Sani is cautioning against the adoption of the Kenyan Gen Z protest in Ghana. The Kenyan protest led to the death of at least 23 people as the youth resisted the passage of the finance bill. Subsequently, President William Ruto announced the rejection of the bill. With calls growing for similar protests in Ghana, Adib Sani insists such protests are not necessary even though the situation is similar.
Well, the issues are cross-cutting, okay? Kenya has issues with corruption, which is very similar to what we have in Ghana. High indebtedness, which is very similar. Choking taxes, including taxation on sanitary pads, bread, and basic or essential commodities, which is very similar to what we have in Ghana. The government of Kenya is using COVID-19 as an excuse, which is similar to what we have in Ghana. So, you see, it cuts across. The similarities are there. But I don't think we should encourage the Kenyan-like protest in Ghana, because in Kenya, people died. We wouldn't want people to die. Parliament was besieged and sections of it burned. We wouldn't want that to happen in Ghana. So for anyone to say that, yes, the youth must come out and speak out, it's okay. But for a Kenyan-like protest, is what I beg to differ.
Meanwhile, governance analyst Dr. Frederick Odro believes the youth in Kenya need to be commended for their resilience against misgovernance. And that ends the breakfast news this morning. As always, this morning is when you log on to starfm.com.gh. I am Nurein Abass. Many thanks for your company.